Episode 3 of the greenhouse. Psych, of the Greenaissance in the greenhouse.
On my way up, what up? How you living, bro? On my way up, what up? How you living, bro? On my way up, what up? How you living, bro? How you living, bro? How you living?
All right, this is episode 3 of the Greenaissance. Yes, sir. As you can see, yes, we are in a greenhouse today. Just built this greenhouse this past weekend. It was an amazing weekend for me to build this. It was like 72 degrees over here in December in good old North Carolina, which is amazing. Not surprised, 'cause that's what North Carolina does weather-wise, but it was great to be outside all day working on this greenhouse. So this is episode 3, and today we're going to explore, establish, and educate sustainable solutions to modern day problems. All right. So where to begin? So let's talk about what's been going on over here, the establishing portion. So this past week has been a very, very busy week for me here on the property. Been working on a lot of projects. 2 big projects, which there's going to be a game changer for the property over here. Really trying to get ready for the spring 2026. So as you can see, number 1 update. This is our greenhouse. Sweet deal for this greenhouse. I found this greenhouse on Craigslist. Not Craigslist. I found this greenhouse on Facebook Marketplace for $200. It was still in the box, right? Brand new. I thought that when I opened up this box, it was going to be missing parts and pieces, but that was not the case. Alhamdulillah. So as you can see, this is a wonderful greenhouse over here. It is 6 feet high in the middle, 6 feet wide, and 10 feet long. So once we get some benches in here, as you can see, I'm joined by 2 lemongrass plants that really needed a greenhouse. A legit greenhouse, because I went ahead and we got these lemongrasses a long time ago, and I had them. I built a little, like a window box, not a window box. I built a cold frame for these. This was out of like plywood, and they just weren't getting the attention nor the sunlight that they needed. And so now, since I have this greenhouse and it's right here on the back porch, they're going to get everything that they need: sunlight, attention, and it's going to be great for these. So stay tuned for looking at the improvements of these lemongrasses, because they are going to blossom into beautiful, beautiful plants. Not technically blossom, but you know what I mean. They're going to look beautiful in due time, right? All right, so the greenhouse, amazing project. Got a lot of stuff planned for the greenhouse. Just stay tuned for that. You know what I mean? Stay tuned for the greenhouse updates. All right, and what else happened over here on the property recently? We built an herb spiral. Once again, you know, this is why I made this transition out of my corporate job to come back to the green industry, right? Because once you're like in the current, like you can't help but see opportunities everywhere that you go, right? And so I was, seeing opportunities for free materials, like for the greenhouse, right? And if you hear my dog in the background, please just ignore the dog. She just wants to be inside. But I told her, I was like, baby girl, you gotta stay outside. It's time for me to shoot the video and make the podcast. Anyway, so I got a bunch of free pavers from a job that we did because it was a part of the demolition. And so loaded them pavers up in my truck, brought them home. I probably have a little over 100, maybe 200 pavers. They're tiny pavers, as you can see. And I was storing them for about a month. Maybe it's been about a month or a half, maybe. And finally, I was like, it's time to build the greenhouse. So, not the greenhouse. It's time to build the herb spiral. So, herb spirals, amazing features for your garden, for your property. Herb spirals just allow you to grow a diverse range of herbs in one area. You can probably grow anything in this area in the herb spiral, honestly. But the beautiful thing about an herb spiral is that you get multiple microclimates in the herb spiral. You have high and dry, right? You have like low and wet. Because you have like, multiple sides on it, you have ways to be able to use a lot of sunlight for some plants that want a lot of sun, like have it south facing, or you can have it north facing if your plants like a lot of shade. You can have it east facing if your plants like a lot of morning sun. And for your plants that can handle a lot of the afternoon sun, you can have those on the west side of your herb spiral. Now my herb spiral is not going to get that much morning sun, so whatever goes on the east side of it is just going to get a lot of shade, right? But we work with what we have. This property right here doesn't get the most sunlight across the property, but we was like, we're gonna make it work. You know what I'm saying? So it gets a good amount of sunlight at the start of the afternoon, and it's gonna be interesting to see as well how this is gonna look during the summer months. Like I said, it's the winter right now, so the sun is still very low, closer to the horizon. Once we get close to those summer months, we're going to see a lot of, see how much sunlight we're going to get back here. I know it's a lot more from what I can recall, but in that corner right there, we're going to see how it works out. But whether or not, we have a lot of other growing space. And so I'm really excited to see how this herb spiral thrives. And once again, like all these materials are basically free, right? I got the pavers for free from a demolition site. And I have, you'll see like the small pavers are free and the big pavers are free because that's from another job. And then the soil I got the soil here from a landscape supplier. I'm really excited for this herb spiral. This is a big thing. I know like in the permaculture world, they talk about herb spirals and it being like close to the kitchen. And then you just go there, you walk out of your home, you get to the herb spiral and you can eat all the, add these delicious herbs to your meals that you're cooking, right? You just get a wide variety of herbs in one location, right? And for all your herbal needs, you know what I'm saying? So that's going to be amazing. All right. So that's what's been going on over here. That's what we've been establishing over here on the property. A lot of other stuff on the way. You know what I mean? Stay tuned. Stay up to date with your homie because the Green Renaissance is alive and well. Oh, and one other thing as well. I went ahead and started advertising myself with my own little, garden maintenance, lawn care business on the side, right? This is to, for people who want to handle some small projects. If they want something like this, like a greenhouse built, or if they want an herb spiral built, or if they just need some help maintaining like their leaves and pruning back their bushes. The name of that company is Green Man Solutions. So this episode is brought to you by Green Man Solutions. And yes, it is I, Green Man, the Green Man, the Green Man. Green Man Solutions, here for all your lawn maintenance and garden needs. So that's what we've been establishing. Now let's go ahead and let's talk about something that we can all learn how to do better today. How to plant properly. I've been seeing a lot of people that don't know how to plant correctly. So I figured, hey, this would be a good educational portion of the Green Renaissance series. So let's start here. So whenever you get a plant, let's say if you have this plant, right, and it's in like a gardening pot, and maybe one day we'll do actually like an actual demonstration. Shoot another video of demonstrating of how to plant properly with an actual plant that's being planted. But let's say you get this plant, right? This plant, you get in the pot, you're gonna have all your, potting soil in here, and then you're gonna have all these roots, running through this potting soil, right? So when you pull the plant out of the pot, you're gonna want to shake off all that potting soil and expose the root ball, right? And then you want to put that plant in the ground, mixing that potting soil with some of your planting mix, right? So let that be like a 50-50 mix like I have here for the herb spiral. You want to plant that in there, mix it in there very well. Also mix it in with the native soil. Just want to mix it all a bunch. Now also when you dig your hole, you want to make sure your hole is at least 2 to 3 times the size of the plant, the pot, basically, the plant in the pot. So digging this big old hole, and you want to make sure it's deep enough so that like the surface of the plant, like right here where the surface is, where the soil is sitting on top, you want to make sure that's like level with the ground around it, right? So you don't want it to be too high because then you might expose some of the roots. You don't want to expose too many of the roots at the top. And then also you don't want to be too low because you don't want to smother the base of the trunk of the tree. So that's a quick lesson on how to plant. We'll do another video in the future with an actual demonstration of how to plant properly. But that's just a quick, heads up. Don't plant too high. Don't plant too low. Shake out that root ball. Shake, shake, shake. Get all that excess potting soil inside the hole. Mix in your planting mix. Mix it up with that native soil all in there. And then, boom. Put your plant in. Cover everything up. And make sure you cover it so that everything is level across the board. Right? So, easy little quick lesson and tip on how to plant properly. Like I'm saying, this is like for shrubs and trees and perennial grasses and things like that. Perennials, any ground covers, that's how you plant, right? All right. And last but not least, this is something that I saw and I was like, yo, this looks so dope. Super dope. Let me pull up my notes on this real quick. Super dope. So here is a super amazing example of living architecture, right? This is a living footbridge in northeast India in a place called Meghalaya. It's a state in northeast India built by the Kasai tribe. And this is located in the Kasai Hills of the Meghalaya state. I hope I pronounced that properly. So backdrop, right? In the Kasai Hills of the Meghalaya, you have these living footbridges, right? That were built hundreds of years ago. And they built these bridges because the terrain is a very mountainous terrain, right? It's called the Kasai Hills, right? And they get so much rainfall. They get like some of the most rainfall on the planet, right? And so because of all this rainfall, they have, like major like currents coming off these waterfalls and, just big old, banks and valleys getting filled up with water. And the Kasai people needed to still travel to their farms and to their markets, right? To live, right? And so whoever started this 100 years ago, they did an amazing job because what they found out is that the roots of the Ficus elastica tree is, bendy and winding enough for you to be able to build footbridges. And these footbridges are like huge footbridges, as you can see. Giant footbridges over these valleys, right? And the beautiful thing is, inside of the tribe, what they do is they preserve the bridges and they build on top of the bridges and they build new bridges still to this day. So they continue this tradition of teaching people in their tribe of how to build and sustain these bridges. It's all made out of the roots of these trees, right? It's amazing. It's an amazing example of like, there's a lot that we can do with the plants that we have available to us. I don't know what a example like that looks like in the United States, like a sustainable living architecture. Like that's crazy. That's crazy to think about. Like it's literally alive and you just keep on building. Actually, I have some ideas on other things. I guess like, would you say an Adobe home is living? I know it's breathable, but is Adobe alive? No, I don't know. I have to look into that. But that's an amazing example, right? Yeah. Shout out to the Kasai tribe in the Meghalaya. I see y'all. I'm going to make a trip out there. Inshallah, one day I'm going to make a trip out there. I'm going to pull up because I want to see that with my own eyes because that is a beautiful. When I saw the videos online and I saw the pictures online, I was like, yo, this is amazing. Just look at it, yo. Beautiful landscapes, beautiful bridges. You see like old men teaching young men, the elders. You see the elders teaching the youth. how to build these bridges and preserve these bridges for generations to come so that the next generation can walk the bridges. Like, just even that mindset of like just thinking about community for hundreds of years down the line. It's like, man, that's amazing to me. That's amazing to me. So, what you think about these bridges, man? Huh? What y'all think about these bridges? Are they amazing or what? If you don't like these bridges, this channel is probably not for you, because we love these bridges over here. Sustainable living architecture, the Ficus elastica tree, which is a beautiful tree, by the way. Beautiful tree. You actually get these trees. I think you can go ahead and buy these trees and bring them in your home sometimes. Now, will you be able to build a footbridge in your home? Probably not. I guess maybe if you're in the same zone as the Kasai Hills. Probably needs a lot of water, though, because it's surviving in this climate, in that ecosystem. Maybe. Ficus elastica, Kasai folks, amazing work, y'all. So that is it. Over here with the Green Renaissance, I think we've covered everything today. So we are establishing, you see the greenhouse here. We got the earth spiral. What you establishing? We got, anybody get some new indoor plants? Anybody doing some work at the community garden? What you got going on? Let us know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. And we have the educational piece. We learned today how to plant properly. Now, like I said, we don't have a video demonstration today. Maybe next time we'll have a video demonstration. But as you can see here, and as you learned today, but what you learned today was that you need to at least shake out that root ball, let those roots be exposed. Make sure that hole is 2 to 3 times the size of the pot, and make sure when you plant that the surface where the potting soil is, where the potting soil is, you need to make sure that you're at that same height and that is level across the board from the surrounding soil, the surrounding native soil, and your plant. And like I said, make sure you mix up that potting soil with your native soil. And if you got a planting mix as well, mix all that up. You need to mix all that up. Okay? And then last but not least, we explored the amazing living bridges in the Kasai Hills built by the Kasai people. You know what I mean? In Northeast India. Beautiful bridges, y'all. Beautiful bridges. If you get an opportunity, I say go over there and check it out. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and check it out. Let me know when you're going, because I would love to see what you got, to hear about your experience. Let me know when you're going, because I would love to hear about your experience. You know what I'm saying? So that is that, y'all. This is the Green Renaissance. We're rolling. Episode 3. You know what I'm saying? Episodes are coming out slow right now, but it don't even matter because we still rolling. You know what I'm saying? The pine tree. That's we ain't gonna do that. Pine tree. Pine trees grow fast, right? And they break easy. Oak trees grow slow. And they break concrete. Be an oak, y'all. That's it for the episode. Y'all be easy. Peace.
I don't wanna imitate, I only wanna be authentic. Only do what radiates my spirit. Only do what radiates my spirit.